Well, that was fun. I was just on Footy Judge Mo's stream looking at the Liverpool win against Brentford and also looking at Arsenal's 5-0 against Burnley and the, some would say maybe surprised the shock of the round so far, 1-1 Man City and Chelsea. And before I get on to Liverpool, I'll just look at that game here because I did say, just because it's Chelsea and they're in 10th or 11th doesn't mean you can disregard them or write them off. They're going away to Man City. Man City played them off the park, though, if you want to say played them off the park in terms of possession and chances. Now, Chelsea literally played like a team that was struggling, to remain in the, in the Premier League, like they were in like 18th or 19th, and some Chelsea fans say they might as well be based on the position they're in. But expected goals 2.69. Haaland had 9 chances, fluffed every single one of them. And as I'm going to tell you now, Haaland today is what Darwin Núñez has been for Liverpool. Chance after chance after chance, miss after miss after miss. It happens. But you know he's going to come back, he's going to bang himself a couple of goals as well. So it's not the worst thing possible. But then again, it didn't take his chances today. On another day, he bangs in a hat-trick. He scores every single one of them chances. Today, he didn't. And Chelsea, look at that. 6 shots on target, 2 big chances missed, 3 big chances missed for Man City. Equaliser from Rodri, fair enough. A lot of City fans will say that maybe they should have been better. The referee's at fault. I mean, they should have been awarded 4 penalties. Kyle Walker's one where he puts his foot in front of, or Sterling puts his foot in front of whoever it is. I think it was Sterling, in front of Kyle Walker when he does his rock oversell against Stone Cold Steve Austin when he gives him a stunner. That's what it looked like. Look, on another day, City run away with this game. A lot of people were thinking that City were going to absolutely spank them, but they didn't. 1-1 it finished, 31 shots, 5 on target. How are you meant to tell me that they were robbed from this game? Now, if it was 3 shots, 1 on target, 3 shots, 2 on target, and they didn't get 4, well, any one of those 4 as penalties, maybe I would say, okay, maybe you might have a point. But Haaland from right in front, that header, Haaland missing in the second half, Haaland again, like it just, nothing was going for him at all. And it happens. Scored 2 against Everton, cool. This game, nothing doing. Chelsea, it doesn't mean the most for them. I don't think they've really moved anywhere in the league. They're still in 10th or goal difference, but then again, Brighton still have to play. Wolves, they beat Tottenham 2-1. Lots of Wolves fans right now giddy, and lots of Tottenham fans maybe questioning themselves. But 35, they're not far off Chelsea. One game, provided these other teams drop points, and then they could be up within a chance of making the top 4 again, but they need the consistency. The bench is all over the shop. And Guardiola only making 1 sub. Bernardo Silva in the 64th minute. 1 sub the whole game. I don't know what Guardiola's thinking over there, but it's like when Sterling scored in the first half, he knew like that was bad. And then they had to play. And they know that Chelsea have pace on the counter-attack, and that's how they played. And on another day, Jackson could have had himself a goal. Sterling could have had himself another goal as well. But that's what happens. 1-1. Can't look at the referee in this. Doku was absolutely shit on that left side. Foden couldn't do anything. Fernandes was good. Caicedo, 1 yellow. Some think that maybe should have been sent off. I'm not too sure about that. And that's the story of the game there. So 1-1 in that game, and that means that, you know, should we win against Luton, and even then, if City win their game, I think we're still ahead of them 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so we're still ahead by a point, even if they win their game in hand. So it's going to come crunch. The game against us at Anfield is going to be peak. I think that's going to be the game where we're going to look at it and say, okay, who's going where? And that will be a nice little segue to us, because we beat Brentford 4-1, 1-0 at the half. Darwin Núñez with an absolute filth. That shit should be on Pornhub. Chipped just inside the box. The keeper didn't even go to ground. He just chipped him. He said, fuck this. Went for the over-the-top bang underneath. I think it hit the net on the full. It didn't even bounce first and then hit the net, just like straight in, almost like a Panenka type of thing, just like straight in. Fantastic finish. And then he got subbed at halftime, and we're all thinking, what the fuck, another injury, because we had Jones go off first, and then Jota got injured. He had a player fall on top of him on his leg. Last time a player fell on top of one of ours was Saka against Tsimikas when we played Arsenal in that 1-1 draw before the new year. He was out for like 2 months, whatever it was. I think early December that game was, whatever. Mid-December. He was out for like, 6 weeks or whatever it was. So not ideal. That's the main one. But now that Salah's back, it ain't the worst thing, but still, I want to see Jota there. Darwin, maybe precautionary. Jones had an ankle injury. He was left on crutches. I read reports. But that could also just be for now, just to give him some time off, maybe miss the game against Luton and then come back for the Carabao Cup final against Chelsea. And Chelsea looked gassed as well after their game against City. What happens from here on in, we shall see. But in saying that, still, it is one of those games you just cannot predict. I mean, a final, anything can happen no matter who's playing. Robertson back at left back was good. Van Dijk and Kanate. No yellow card for Kanate, thankfully. Bradley had a good shift as well before Gomez came on for him. McAllister got himself a fantastic goal in the second half. Gravenberch had to come on for Jones. Endo was great in the midfield as well. Obviously got himself a yellow card for a blatant block to stop a counter-attack from Brentford. But the main one for me is... well, in terms of injuries or problems, was the Jota, as mentioned already. That's big. But when you have people like Salah who can come on and get yourself a goal and an assist, albeit from shitty defending. Now, you can say and argue the fact that, well, Brentford were crap defensively. Okay, but we still need to put those chances away. We saw how crap we were defensively against Burnley last week, but Burnley didn't put their chances away. And in this game, results. Score your chances, take them, whatever it is. Doesn't matter how you score your goals, get your wins. The game itself, there were patches where we probably didn't play the best. I thought we could have been better in some instances. Kelleher in goal because Alisson has got a hamstring injury. Again, he's a question mark against Luton. He's a massive question mark against Chelsea as well. But I want to see him back well before that Man City game because we can do with this. That's not a problem. And mind you, we played without our 3/4 of our backline. We didn't play with them for 2 months. Matip out since early December. Robertson was out. Trent has been in and out, and he's still out again with the knee injury. We had Kanate and Kwanzaa rotating in amongst themselves. Gomez had to play left back. So, it's not a simple thing. Although, to be fair, Trent's only been out for the last month, I think, not for 2 months. So we had 2 out of the 4. So I would say half, right? Midfield, I've always said in my last video, midfield is okay because we can rotate. But if Jones is out, we can have Elliott come in or Gravenberch. But Gravenberch needs to be a little bit more solid on the ball. A lot of people, I was watching Hassan's watch along from This Is Football, saying he sniffs perfume and all that sort of stuff. He wasn't sniffing perfume. He got into it. Whatever. The Diaz had himself a good game as well. Again, another day, maybe would have got himself a goal. But Mo coming back, scoring goals. Gakpo coming on, scoring goals, getting a goal and assist each off the bench. And this is why we say Liverpool's depth off the bench is not a bad thing because you can have these sorts of things happen. But they only happened because other players had to be substituted because of injuries. It wasn't because of a sub, because you needed to make the change. It was the injury, which is a big concern. So I don't know what's going to happen at the moment, but if I just go back to what I was reading earlier on about the injuries when it comes to Liverpool, obviously the Darwin one is a bit of a massive question mark. And just to go back now, damn, this background is bright as hell. That finish was disgusting. I might use it as my thumbnail. Jones' ankle left the stadium on crutches. Jota's injury appears to be the biggest concern. Decision to take off Nunez was more of a precaution. Fair enough. We have to see how much it costs us. We don't know yet, said Klopp, who's still we don't have Trent also. I just realised now. And Alisson, obviously I mentioned that. Jones got a knock above his ankle. Wasn't 100%. It does not play. It tells you something because we would have played on at all costs. So Jota is the bad one there. Nunez because he felt something very little. So, 1 injury in a game. Cool. 2. Okay. 3. That's a bit of a stretch. Massive bit of a stretch. And look, we kept on winning goals. Kept on winning games. We're scoring goals. That's fantastic. That's all good and well. But we're going to really have to put it on if we're going to make a real go of this because Arsenal winning 5-0. Okay, away to Burnley. Still, you got to win your games. They got a tough run of fixtures as well. And then, if we're looking at ourselves, Luton at home on Thursday morning for myself, then Chelsea Monday morning 2 a.m, then Southampton at home in the FA Cup, Nottingham Forest away in the Premier League, and then the big one, 11th for me, 2:45 a.m, March the 10th. That is ultimately what I think is going to see us in whatever position we're going to be finishing in for the season. Arsenal, yes, defensively they've been great, but they've had the same partnership pretty much the whole season. We've had to do without, and we're still top of the league. So if that tells me anything, it tells me that defensively we're not too bad. Alisson is a massive question mark though. Alisson is the massive question mark. But if Trent comes back in the next few weeks, Sobo for the midfield, and we also see Alisson return if it's just a little niggle, that will put me at ease. Salah back is going to terrify every defensive line because you can see what he can do. And teams really need to be on their game. They can't afford any slip-ups because I don't think any of our forwards chases the ball like Mo did to get himself his goal. It was a great finish, by the way. I don't think any of our forward lines do that. They'll probably chase the ball down, but they won't attack the ball, if you get what I'm saying. So we shall see what happens, but I'm happy. 3 points, we remain first. Arsenal still in the hunt, and City stumble. So it is getting very, very interesting in the Premier League now.